Bob. What's up, John? Here you go, Jason. I do take requests. Requests all the time. Let's keep playing anyway. That's right. Very good. Nick, you want honeysuckle rose? That's cool. Dude, I'm running this live on YouTube in case this is giving you trouble. I know there's a lag sometimes. So just go to youtube.com/MarvinMusic. All right. Let's see. Honeysuckle rose. I can play Caravan after that. Honeysuckle rose. Backing track. There it is.
Don't miss a moment. Live TV from 70 plus channels. YouTube TV. Start streaming now.
Oh, there we go. One person watching on YouTube. It's not in vain. Trying to transfer people to the YouTube is not easy. Love June Cliffs of Dover. Hey, Fernanda. Is the sofa against the wall? It's an optical illusion. Baby, people asking me if the sofa is against the wall.
What?
People are asking if the sofa is against the wall.
Tell them we got a new sofa and we didn't know what to do with the old one.
She's trying to say that we just chill out, standing up.
Modern artwork.
It's modern art. Don't ask. All right. Let's see. Honeysuckle Rose. Let's. Somebody else. Caravan. Caravan is a song I always hate playing on, but I'll do it for you. Let's do it.
One.
Just
two,
that weird
one,
form.
two, three, oh.
How does one determine what key they are playing in, and how does one stay there? I really don't like to ask for requests, but our red line. That's right. That's a solid love now. someone determine the key they're in? Well, it becomes obvious after a while, but there's a certain amount of trial and error and fishing around juke joint. We do 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 bit of dum. We do 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 bit of do. Do 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 bit of do. Bam 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 bam. Do 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 bit of I'll play minor swing. So yeah, there's a certain round of you got to just take a major scale and see what if the major scale from where you're starting playing fits, right? It's a matter of fitting. I think maybe a minor pentatonic scale or a major pentatonic scale might be a good place to start. I think it starts with that, with like training yourself to maybe recognize the bass note and learning how to apply it in a way that's consonant. You got to learn. So tonality starts with understanding the difference between, consonants and dissonance with your ear. So that's where it really starts. Where it goes is a different story. All right, minor swing. If you guys want to talk about something specific, let me know. I'm here for you. Cool. What can we play next? Steal My Dreams. 2 2:30. See you in my dreams fast. I missed the question on YouTube. Wiley, can you ask that again? Ask that again one more time. Just copy and paste your question. Sorry, it doesn't let me read read the last comments. Top chat, live chat. Let's see. Oh, there it is. I see it now. So as you're phrasing around a chord, what do you try to think or think ahead when you're improvising? Oh, okay. So yeah, you're never thinking ahead. There's no such thing as thinking ahead in playing, because you can't, you got to play now, right? So how can you think ahead? The best way to explain the process, I think, is an analogy to language, right? So it's the same way. The relationship you have with the words isn't the relationship of predicting, right? So it's like saying, if I want to talk to you about anything, right, about the weather, do I have to kind of be 10 seconds ahead of myself and come up with the next shit that I need to think about and say in order to express it to you, right? Like if I were to say, if I'm talking about the temperature today, but I know it's gonna rain in a week or in a day or two, do I need to think about that mid-sentence? And the truth is I don't. And if I do, I'm gonna really mess up the flow of my thinking and of my playing. So you need to have a relationship of trust with language. You need to trust yourself. You need to know the language so thoroughly to where it will allow you to concentrate on big ideas, right? You're concentrating on just the weather and you let yourself just ramble, and hopefully, you'll be able to kind of phrase it as you go along. And I think the process of doing that in jazz especially is a process of, really being able to play on each one of the chords in the context of the harmony. So in a song like this, let's say it's an area of the guitar, just take the first 4 chords. So B flat Lydian, B flat melodic minor, F Ionian, right? To just keep it F Ionian, right? So I just need to know, first of all, I would say where the letters are. that's knowing mode. It's knowing where the letters are, right? It's not even that fair to say, it's not that accurate, because a musical letter is never a note, it's a note integrated with a rhythm, right? But then the question is, what are words in this kind of music? And I think that's where most people kind of really stop, fall off the wagon, because they either practice letters or entire phrases, but you need to know words. And if you know, guys, if you're suffering from the lag, just go on YouTube. It's youtube.com/Marvin Music. It's live there too with no lag. So that's the real thing, finding the resolution of the word in music. So what is a word, right? A word is something that doesn't have entire meaning. A phrase kind of has an impact. So you need to find that thing where it's a bunch of letters connected, but still not enough to convey the whole story. So just a melodic fragment, and practice those, right? So could be like, those fragments, they're not really anything by themselves, but a string of them together, creates phrases. So you need to have these moves, that can, your playing needs to be seamless eventually, but you need to understand where the seams are. You need to understand the micro moves that make up the licks. So when you hear an elaborate thing, it might seem seamless, but it might be like, 20 musical moves connected in a seamless way to me, right? And that's the trick about it. I'll play something slow, maybe, to where it would be slower to where it's easier to talk about. Yeah, I mean, and the question, like, if you ask what's a good melody, I don't know, play in time, play in the harmony, and then ask the question again, So what's a good melody? There's a lot of good melodies you could play, but that's where the creativity bit comes in, right? But if you're playing wrong notes and out of time, then it's not the appropriate question yet. What's a good melody? You're not choosing from things that are good. I think you can hum inside your head and play out the melody when you hear the chord progression. Yeah, so you can hum inside your head, and you should, but also, you don't need to be in a prison of your imagination. You need to also work on your imagination. So what about great melodies that you can't hum, right? Are they just not a part? You're saying it's not a part of me now, but can it be, right? If just like your technique can get better, your imagination can get better. So you can put more quality melodies in there somehow. So I think we practice our imagination and the vocabulary of humming as just as much as we practice our vocabulary of playing, by introducing new ideas, thinking about new rhythms to play, understanding the relationships. Everything gets better. questions? Somebody asked something about key changes. Top chat. Let's see. What's your take on key changes within the song? Any tricks or tips on catching the right moment? Well, it's not really key changes. Chord changes are the challenge. Key changes, you just take the same mode and you move it, right? So, like if you have a good way to practice, it's like two of the same kind of quality and move it by an unrelated interval. Like something I did a lot when I was a kid. It's like a G minor going to a B flat minor. Like just two minor seven chords, like a minor third apart. So you actually have to think about two scales, right? G minor, I'm thinking Dorian, so it's F major. And B flat minor is B flat Dorian, is A flat major, right? But I'm thinking G Dorian to B flat Dorian. That's how I'm actually thinking about it. So you want to play, first of all, if you're dealing with that kind of challenge, then you have the decision of how long you're staying in each one. So two measures would be like 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you need to feel those two measures inside because those are the markers for the change, right? In jazz, a good definition for jazz that I came up with, and I think it's really good, is to learn jazz improvisation is to learn the mechanics of choice making through circular harmonic structures that move in time. It's a mouthful, but if you really understand what I'm saying, it's that we are making choices, but the ground we're making choices of are loops of harmony that are moving in time, that are strung together in time. That's how we play. So what we need to train ourselves to do is, first of all, be able to notice moving time and notice circular harmonies move on it, right? So the circle can be, the circle of the harmony could be 1 measure each, 2 measure each, 4 measures each. So 1 measure each would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the loop. Now I need to be able to do the choice making on that thing. So I need to have options on the G minor, and then on the B flat minor. And I need to be able to string those together and really give the listener that notion of where time is with the change. So 1 measure each would be like 1, 2, 3, 4. Two measures each, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's not an ear thing. What you want to do is just practice your mode. Again, there's like this debate between the scientific, academic approach that's happening right now, between that one and more like the gospel and old jazz approach of ear player versus like learned player, right? And that's been kind of bubbling around. And what's really happening is that a lot of times, I think when you're scientifically minded, you are in a place where you're throwing a baby out with the bathwater, right? And that's what's happening. Like when you're learning modes, when you're learning the names of everything, something else goes away. Like you look at people, hey Hashan, you look at people in church singing like their ass off, right? And they don't know anything about harmony, and they're able to sing these beautiful melodies through chord changes. And you see people playing the shit out of bebop without really understanding or being able to explain what they're doing. They're like, wow, that's the way to really do it. And also, they develop such strong intuitions that the choice making they're doing is so interesting. The disadvantage of that is that if you don't grow up a certain way, playing a lot to develop that kind of intuition, then you're not going to grow up to be that kind of player. So you can hold on to that love of that kind of playing and just stay at the same level, cruise the same level, knowing a pentatonic scale for years, having this deep faith that one day you'll be an ear player, even though you're not going to be one, right? Or you can start taking the steps with your brain, because unfortunately you're probably in the background that that's how you think. So you always got to embrace the way you think, right? And if you're stuck, it means that you're trying to think in a way that doesn't suit you, right? I'm not saying that ear players don't exist, more power to them, right? But let them have it. If that's not you, don't force it to be you. Just kind of learn the names of everything. You know, that's what I did. I don't know. I'm definitely not an ear player. If somebody just throws a set of unfamiliar changes, I have to go through a process with it. I have to understand what they are, probably figure out some stuff, and then, you know, but by the time by showtime, I can play it as well as anybody. But I have to. I'm not gonna just. I'm not gonna. I just don't buy into the bullshit. Like, you know, to me, what matters is how you play at the end of the day, right? Whatever you got to do to get yourself there, just do it. Do the work. And they have work to do too. I mean, I don't know. Watch a gospel guy give a YouTube lesson once, and it's like, you know, it's weird to see. It's like they don't know anything. You know what I mean? It's like they know how to play everything, but they can't articulate anything. You know, and that's it's a weird kind of thing. Head plus brick wall equals progress. That's actually not true. There are two kinds of knowledge, right? And two kinds of learning. There's linear learning, meaning the head against the brick wall, and there's lateral learning. And you want to do a lot of lateral learning. Lateral learning is like when instead of like you know, if you focus your eyes, maybe you can see a little bit farther straight, but then at a certain point, you realize that the world is broader, that reality is broader, right? And hey, Sarah, and you see more of the wide perspective, and you maybe realize that the whole direction you're going in is the wrong direction. So, and to be good at lateral learning, you got to float a bit. You got to keep an open mind about the axioms, the things that you assume are true about music and about your presuppositions about learning, right? And you gotta, with time, a lot of times you're so possessed by the things you believe that they don't even seem like options. It's just, it seems like that's how the world is, because you don't question them. Um, and I think, you know, I think a real good distinction to understand is the difference between awareness and consciousness, right? So think about awareness like you're in a room right now and look around it. It's filled with information that you're not taking in at this moment, right? Just way too much useless information. The pictures on the wall, the color of the wall, the molecules that make the table, all this infinity that's around you at every moment, right? That's awareness, that's space. Consciousness is, imagine it like a big desert and you're taking a fistful of sand and looking at it up close, right? The problem is a lot of you guys are not aware of the vastness of the problem, which is music. So you can't even take a good handful to examine it, right? It's just, it seems, yeah, head plus brick wall equals effectiveness once you have a direction. But to get the direction, you might need to have some lateral learning. So what you really want to be able to do, you know, is widen the awareness to where you have more kind of options of what you're examining, and then examine it well, right? And I think that's some where real learning happens. Alrighty, guys, I gotta take off. I'll see you guys soon.